In this video, I am going to walk you step by step through the Tony Elumelu Foundation application form. I will be very practical in answering the questions. While doing so, I will first explain the questions to you. Secondly, I will tell you what TEF really wants to see from you as answer. Thirdly, I will list out common mistakes you must avoid while answering each of the questions. Then the final thing I will do is I will give you a practical example on how to answer this question. I will choose a business, and throughout this video I will choose Sanka Empire Limited. I will present Sanka Empire as an agribusiness, and I will use it to answer each of these questions professionally and clearly. If you are coming to this channel for the first time, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share it with others so that they can also be privileged to get the information I will share here. Thank you. Now, before you get to this stage, I believe you must have registered and verified your email. The question here are just for you to fill in your emails, your business address, your contacts. That's all. But look at the cursor. I just zoomed it now. The rural or urban setting of your business. There are some businesses that are suitable in rural areas, and there are some businesses that can survive only in urban areas. So you will make these choices based on the type of business you are doing. Now, the first question here is, tell us about yourself in 150 words maximum. Personal bio and what led you to become an entrepreneur. So what TEF is asking here, TEF is asking your entrepreneurial journey. TEF is asking to know about your business motivation. TEF is also asking why you are the right person to run this business. Your entrepreneurial journey in that they want to know why you choose to become an entrepreneur and how the journey started. They want to know what pushed you into doing what you are doing. They also want to know why you think you are the right person to do what you are doing. Every investor take these questions seriously. Now, what TEF wants to see from you in answering this question? TEF want to see clarity. TEF want to see purpose. TEF want to see genuine mindset. Let me give you common mistakes that you must avoid before I give you practical example. Writing it like a CV is the first mistakes people are making while attempting these questions. So many persons write their answers like a CV. That is not what TEF wants. So, but another mistake you must avoid is talking about your childhood without business link. Because you see, personal about that, people are not bringing their childhood story. Personally, I say I am Moikara Monday, born by Sosoye, grew up in a local village called Kani, in Kana local government area of River State, Nigeria. I am an that is not what TEF wants. That's mistake that you are making. Then another mistake people are making is being too emotional rather than being strategic. You don't need to put up an emotional story or a story that is too emotional. No. How you feel about a thing, how you feel about a problem is actually or will actually be different compared to how I feel about it. So being too emotional will not actually move the reviewer, but being strategic to position it to capture the focus of TEF is what will help you. Now let's give practical example quickly. My name is Sanka Empire, the founder of Sanka Empire Limited. I am an agripreneur passionate about reducing food waste and improving access to healthy and affordable food. After observing significant post-harvest losses among smallholders farmers in Ogoni, And the growing dependence of imported processed food, I started Sanka Empire to locally process farm produce into packaged foods free from preservatives. My background in food processing and business management has equipped me with the skills to build efficient supply chains and lead to growing teams. Through the business, I aim to create jobs, support farmers, and improve food security in Ogoni and Nigeria generally. That's how I will answer this question. Perhaps you don't need to answer it directly the way I just did, and that is why I did not put it as text. I would have just write the text and display it on the screen, but some people will just copy it and use it verbatim. No, so I chose to read it out only. You just follow the structure and position your business likewise. Question 2: leadership skills and experience. In 100 words maximum, describe your leadership skills and experience in managing the company. If you look at the description of the question in the dialog box, it will also help you. But to save your time, I will use the 4-dimensional approach in answering this question. The first one is what TEF is asking. What TEF is asking you is, can you lead people? TEF want to know. TEF also want to know if you can make decisions. TEF also want to know if you have the ability to grow your business. Because when they invest money, they expect that you scale your business. Then, what TEF wants to see from you as answer? TEF want to see evidence and not motivation quotes. TEF wants to prove, to show them, and not just to say, yes, you can do these things. Common mistakes people are making while attempting this question. The first one is overusing big grammar. I have seen that severally. People are actually using big grammar that naturally or professionally are empty. Another thing is one sentence answer. People are just writing one sentence as answer. No, it is a big mistake. Then another mistake people are making that you must avoid is people are saying, I am a good leader, in quote, without proof. That's not what TEF wants from you. TEF wants proof. So let me give you a practical way of answering this question using Sanka Empire Limited as an agribusiness. To me, I will say, I lead a team of 5 staff, coordinating production, sales, and logistics. I make data-driven decisions by tracking cost, customer feedback, and sales trends. I encourage teamwork through regular meeting and clear role assignments, which has improved productivity and reduced waste. I also motivate my team by setting achievable targets, or you call it clear SMART goals, and recognizing performances. These leadership practices have helped stabilize operation and increase monthly revenue. This is less than 100 words. If you look at it, I capture the number of my team because in the dialog box they ask you to describe how you lead your team. You cannot describe how you lead your team without describing the size of your team. Then I also talk about how I take decisions. I also talk about how I motivate my team, and I also talk about one of the things TEF rely on: achievable targets, or you call it SMART goals. When you get to the business training, you will understand this better. Question 4: what problem does your product or service solve? 200 words maximum. Now let's use our 4-dimensional approach. The first thing is what TEF is asking. TEF is asking to know if the problem is real. TEF is also asking to know if your solution actually solves the problem. And what TEF wants from you is a clear problem and solution connection. You must establish the problem clearly and clearly explain how your solution, that is your product or the service you offer, solve this problem. Mistakes people are making while attempting this question, or a mistake you must avoid, is using too much theory. No. You just state the obvious. State the problem and the solution. Leave the theory. Another mistake is describing the business, not the problem. Another thing people may mistakenly do is to describe the business. You talk about a business, forgetting how to talk about the problem. The first thing you do is you talk about the problem. The next thing is talk about your product and how it solves the problem, or you talk about your services and how it solves the problem. So the fourth thing is the practical approach. So using Sanka Empire Limited as an agribusiness, I will start with smallholder farmers in Ogoni experience high post-harvest losses due to poor storage and limited access to processing facilities. At the same time, consumers rely heavily on imported processed foods that are expensive and contain preservatives. Sanka Empire Limited addresses this gap by sourcing surplus farm produce directly from local farmers and processing it into affordable, nutritious packaged food. This reduces food waste, increases farmers' income, and provides consumers with healthier alternatives. Unlike existing solutions that focuses on selling raw produce only, our model integrates processing, packaging, and distributing, ensuring value is retained locally. This is less than 200 words. You can actually expand it, but I actually have to make it this short because I understand that this will actually be a business of someone applying. People will actually apply with this business. So I don't need to review everything, but I just have to establish a skeletal structure that you will follow. While doing so, I always advise my students in the master class that you quantify this problem, because TEF always asks you to quantify your problem in terms of loss of money, time, and any other value. So if you're quantifying this problem, Nigeria generally lost 60% of the farm produce due to post-harvest loss. This statistics is backed by man. So you quantify the problems. We do so practically in our masterclass training. The next training is coming up in February. So if you're interested, you can also join the next cohort. The last question on this page: what is new, interesting, or different about your product or service? List 3 things. Using our 4-dimensional approach, the first one is what TEF is asking, the second one is what they want to see from you, right? Okay, now the question is very straightforward. What is that thing that is new or is interesting or different about your product or your service? And what they want to see from you, they want you to list 3 things that is new. By new, it means different from what others are doing before, that are interesting, or that is actually different from what others are doing before. So the question is explicitly clear. So the next thing is common mistakes. People, even after seeing list 3 things in brackets, we still write it in different paragraphs without numbering it. No, you have to number them. It must not be as long as 100 words, 150 words, or 200 words. No, just number them, highlight them. That's what TEF want to say. So if I should highlight anything here, I will say. So if I am to highlight anything here, I will say we do not just sell raw farm produce. We process it and preserve it to extend shelf life. I will also talk about community-based processing model that creates local jobs, and that's all. I will make it three. You have to make it three. On the screen, you can see you have to choose a business, the stage of your business. It is very important because each of the stages of this business has have a particular responsibility attached to it. If you select a business at the idea stage, then it also has the questions attached to that, and there are some choice of ways you must use. If you choose a business that is already at the infancy, or maybe you choose a business that is at the advanced or growth stage, then there are some choice of words you use while attempting the questions. Like the business that I just shared with you, the business just used to answer these questions cannot be at the idea stage. It fits in at infancy. So you take note of that. It can also fit in within the advanced stage, but not growth stage. You also take note of that. Then you select the year, 5 years. You have to take caution. Check the date on your registration document. That's your CAC. So many persons have their business registered 7 years ago. That you are not in operation does not mean the business has not been registered. Finally, then you upload your certificates. This video is actually focused on this very section. Check my next video for other section that talks about your industry and market analysis and the financial aspect of the application. Thank you.